Well, tomorrow marks 10 years since 25-year-old Freddie Gray was arrested and critically injured while in police custody in Baltimore. He later died from those injuries, and his death sparked massive protests and then large-scale riots in Baltimore City.
Joining us now is community activist Al Hathaway. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for being here.
Can you tell us how far the city has come in the last decade since everything unfolded surrounding Freddie Gray?
Yes, the city has gone a long way. In fact, it's amazing. You can really call it a decade of difference because when you see that they literally had to rewrite policies, procedures as the police department was moving forward, and they were able to do that in a very real way. The second thing that I see very clearly is that the city has really ignited a kind of excitement at ground level all across our communities. And so you see people active, see people involved, see people engaged. I can tell you one more thing that's very specific. The church where I serve, Union Baptist Church, was the third stop on that fateful ride of young Freddie Gray. And now there's been a police lounge that has been in existence right there for the past 10 years. So I can see that there's been some positive interaction between the community and the local police.
That's interesting, Reverend Hathaway. You know, Baltimore hadn't seen riots since '68. Happened in Chicago, happened in Detroit, happened in Watts, happened in D.C. How do you view BPD's relationship with the community now, post Freddie Gray's death?
You know, I've been here long enough that I was here in '68, and now I'm here also in 2015. Thankful for that. The difference is that there's been a real concentrated effort on the part of the police department to have leadership that has connective tissue to the community. So if you look at the top leadership of the Baltimore City Police Department, they have real networks and real relationships with real people in Baltimore City's communities.
Now, Reverend Hathaway, 6 officers were charged following Gray's death under then City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby. All criminal charges were eventually dropped, and many people argue that charging those officers was misguided. What do you think? You know,
I grew up in this community. Many of those officers, I have to admit, I didn't know. Some were just relationships with members of my family. It was a sense of overzealousness, but that was a real pressure time. And I believe that the state's attorney felt that they needed to act. I think they were overcharged.
Interesting. In that same kind of following up out of Mackenzie's question, then, Reverend Hathaway, do you believe Freddie Gray was denied due process for not being allowed to get to the police station in the same condition that he got into that van?
Without a doubt. He was treated unfairly, just treated in a very negative manner. It is so unfortunate that someone that people knew was treated that way. The police even knew him. He was treated that way.
Now, what do you think the long-lasting impacts that perhaps remain in the decades since, and how can the city continue to work to overcome that?
Well, we have a flashpoint. We have a low point. We have to build upon that and go even higher and higher in terms of real relationships in the community. And I think I'm seeing that, quite honestly. State's attorney is being engaged. The mayor's being engaged. I see people in the local community also being real engaged in terms of improvements in Baltimore City.
Reverend Al Hathaway, thank you for being here today. We appreciate it. And as Mackenzie said, it's good to see the city moving in a forward direction after a very painful time in Baltimore. And I know you remember, I was in the D.C. area. I was 4 in '68. I know you're a little older, but yeah, it's good to see the city.
I won't say how old I was.
We won't ask you.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.